fair enough. I'm going to put something on. Are you ready for me to sort of, I don't want to say rock your world, but I'm rocking my world. Accountability. Because I believe accountability is one of those things, or it's one of those words where everybody likes it until it applies to somebody that they support, or until it applies to them themselves. It is important to understand that the rule of law, right? The law isn't tested when it applies to people that. What am I trying to say? The rule of law isn't tested when it applies to people we dislike. It is tested when it applies to people that we admire, right? When people that, like, I really love Jackie Glass, but she did this thing and now she needs to be held accountable for it, right? Like, being able to do that, being able to say that I am not exempt, you are not exempt. Like, that is when the rule of law is actually tested. And so a couple weeks ago, I sent a letter asking Virginia authorities to review whether or not Justice Clarence Thomas should be investigated regarding possible Virginia tax fraud implications connected to this very publicly reported financial benefit disclosures, right? I'm going to put this up on the screen, right? Listen, I want to be clear about what I'm doing here. And I want you guys to do your homework too and look into what we've seen a Supreme Court justice do that lives in Virginia. Justice Clarence Thomas lives in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I want to be extremely clear. I am not saying that someone is guilty here. I'm saying that accountability requires investigation. And when facts raise legitimate questions, right? The facts of the situation with him have raised some legitimate questions. They're different things, because an investigation is not necessarily a conviction, and being able to inquire about this doesn't mean that we're punishing him. When you guys say, I want to see what you did, that doesn't assume that I'm guilty. Review is not an assumption of guilt, but accountability requires somebody to be willing to ask the question. You have to be willing to ask the question. And so this is the letter. It's a little bit lengthy. I think I can, I'm changing the pace on the letter. As of today, I have not received a response, and I think I sent this out maybe a week or two ago. There's an important lesson here that isn't actually about Justice Thomas. It is about understanding that accountability doesn't not just happen automatically, y'all. It is not self-executing, right? It's not a thing that just happened. There's no trigger for accountability. It requires pressure. It requires attention. It requires people that refuse to look away, like you and I, right? And that is why we are getting into this book, Grab 'em by the Ear. I am committed to doing the things that make me completely uncomfortable. Do you hear me? I have made a commitment to do these things that have me completely uncomfortable. Do you hear me? The letter to the governor and the attorney general about Justice Clarence Thomas, I will go ahead and put that out as well. And remember, I just need you to go ahead and email, call, and tell them, we are not having this. I'll also put the link to the story that was done about this. This was another Chris Armitage thing. I'm following the leadership of the community on this one. But I'll put the story up there about why Justice Thomas, who is a Virginia resident, needs to be investigated, right? We need to audit him, right? And that doesn't mean we're assuming guilt, but there's enough public information that says there's something going on here. He and me are not above the law as elected officials.